This is Kevin Min with Outside the Games. We welcome you to our program. We thank you so much. We have a special student athlete on our program today. His name is Jacob Marley. He is a class of 2021 athlete. GPA is 3.6 out of Toledo High School in Washington State. Yes, I said Toledo, Washington. Nice to have you on our show, Jacob.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Hey, a pleasure. Pleasure is mine. I tell you, I'm seeing Kansas City garb right now, and you're adorned with it here. Kansas City Chiefs must mean something to you, my friend.
Oh, yeah, Kansas City it was my first love in the world of football, and my grandma gave me a Chiefs jersey, and that's just kind of where it all started.
Yeah. And we talk about on the program about family, and we'll get into that. What is family? How would you define it? Because everybody can define it differently. But what does family mean to you, Jacob?
Family to me, it's people that you can always come to no matter what's happening in your life. It's people that will never turn you away, take a bullet for you in a sense, and just people you do anything for. Like family to me isn't only limited to just blood. Like I got best friends I do anything for. They're loyal to me, I'm loyal to them, and it's just a certain type of love.
Oh, I love to hear it. We love to hear it. Now, interestingly, there's different dynamics of family when you talk about parents, who's active roles, and if it's mom or dad. In this sense, it's your mom. Tell me what your mom means to you, because you're provided clothing and just the basic essential necessities of a student athlete are a house over a roof over your head, clothing, food, just those things that sometimes we can take for granted. What does your mom mean to you?
Now, like my mom literally means everything to me. She's like my universe. She plays the mom, dad, whatever in my life. She's always been there for me when, like, in the time of need. Whenever I need to go to somebody to talk, she's always there for me, and I love her with everything.
Oh, that's good to hear. Toledo High School. Let's get into that a little bit. Toledo High School. What is it like going to Toledo High School? It's a small town in Toledo, Washington. But what's that like attending a small school?
So you know everybody. Everybody knows everybody. I could like recite like almost like all the whole school's names basically, and it's just it's great. It's like being in a close knit family. Everybody always picks each other up, and it's just great being out here.
Yeah, community is everything, right? When you look at a small town, small school, their high school sports mean everything, especially academics. But really, the Friday night lights and so on and so forth. What does community mean, and how important is community to Toledo High School?
Oh, well, community here in Toledo, like is everything as well. The community always comes together in a time of need to help support people that families are down. Booster clubs always help pay for things, and it's just you can always rely on anybody in the community, and it's great to come out like under the lights and just play for a town like that. I love it.
No, I love it to hear that. I tell you, community is everything, as we said. For you, academics speaking, what importance do you place on academics being a student athlete, Jacob?
Well, academics come first. My mom has instilled that into me ever since I started playing football. Football doesn't last forever, so she wants me, and or at least I want to focus on what I can get after football and what degree I could pursue, and just what I can do with my life outside of sport. You never know what happens in football, so you always got to be prepared.
Oh, definitely. So let's talk a little bit more about academics now. When you look at your classes, especially during this COVID, we're under unprecedented times with COVID-19. It's changed a lot of behaviors, and especially with school. Being a student, online classes, what's been the difference for you that you're experiencing right now?
Personally, for me, I'm way more of a social guy. So I like going to school and like seeing my friends and just different people. So like online classes, it's definitely weirder and like tougher to me, because like some subjects are like for me you can't really just learn it over the phone, and it's like best to have like that like face-to-face conversation with the teacher. So it can definitely be tougher in some instances, but and then it could be easier in others, like English. I like it's just writing essays and journals. So yeah.
It's been tough to kind of see you because you haven't really seen them because of obviously social distancing, wearing masks, and there's things put in place. But your heart's gotta feel, your heart goes out to those class of 2020
Oh yes, sir.
student athletes and students, right?
Hmm. Yeah, like some of my best friends, their year got cut short, and they were track stars, and they didn't get a chance to go get that first place medal that they were longing for. Like last year, they got second or third, and this year was going to be their year. So it's just devastating to see how it got cut short like that.
How does Jacob as a student, what do you think for teachers to be a successful student? What kind of qualities does a teacher have to have in order for you to be a successful student?
For me, I feel like it's just the teacher needs to be personable, and just more like understanding of certain instances. Like some teachers out there, they're just like by the rules, do this, do that. But for me, it's like when I could have a one-on-one with a teacher, and joke about this, joke about that. But then when it's time to get work done, I understand what I'm doing, and like I'd get the work done.
What things do you do as a student athlete though to help your teachers out? It's a different now because it's online, but you can speak from before.
So like obviously in classes, if you get in trouble, we're running gassers and all that. So it's definitely just like being quiet when they want you to be quiet, and just like if the curriculum, help other students instead of having the teacher run everywhere. Just taking workload off them when you know what they're going through as well.
What class does Jacob enjoy? What's your favorite subject?
Uh Man, I love Spanish. Spanish was probably my favorite class.
There we go. Okay, little Espanol.
Yeah, see, I love that class.
What's your least favorite class? Now, every student athlete has one. I know mine was chemistry. I just didn't get it. What about you?
No shots fired, but probably physics. I don't enjoy physics too much. It's crazy.
What is it about physics that you just don't understand, or you just don't like?
I just don't like it's just, it's tough to grasp the concept sometimes, like this and that. So it's just tough for me to learn it, and I just don't enjoy it. Sometimes like the people in there when I'm trying to learn it, it just makes it hard. So yeah.
Now, obviously being class of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
obviously you started as a freshman. You've been all 3 years to Toledo. I
Yes, sir.
step back and think about freshman year, coming to that school, small school, and what has the journey been like for you from then until now? How's that journey been? What you experienced in high school?
My friends that all the time. It's gone by super fast. But I came here actually from Lakewood. I used to go to Hudloff Middle School, and then yeah. So we'll just skip the freshman year. I got here. I was playing JV, and it's just like I was still trying to grasp the concept of like small town, small school, you know, and it's just like I said, family. Like family's like the best word I could use to describe it. I was like my first game, like varsity game, I wasn't playing as a freshman, and I wasn't. They didn't think I was ready for that yet. But it's just being there supporting the guys. And I remember after that like first playoff loss, man, everybody was crying, and it made me really think and understand how I got to appreciate what I got. So sophomore year came around, I was ready to get to work. My coaches believed in me, and I got to play some varsity, and we made it to the semifinals. And then this last junior year, man, this year went by like a snap, it was crazy. Before you know it, we were already in the playoffs, and it didn't go as planned. But though I think the way we lost, it really made our team look back and just it's like use it as fuel, for this next upcoming season. I believe it's going to be a good one.
Did you guys lose a lot of seniors?
We definitely lost a few core players, I'd say. And like a good amount of our team's coming back, but the players we did lose definitely played a big role in our team. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the slack's picked up.
It's kind of a next man up mentality. I mean, how do your coaches handle something like that? Because you're looking at yourself as the athlete, the student athlete, and you're trying to improve your skill. And we'll get into 7-on-7 about that and how that helps. But how do the coaches view that? Because it is, seniors leave, it's the next person up.
Well, definitely for me and two other sophomores, when we got to start playing varsity, I feel like we started being bred to, so to say, like at that higher competition level. So when it comes around to be a senior, we're like already ready. So our coaches play freshmen sometimes. Like this last year, we had a freshman guard out there because our junior that started there got hurt. So he came in, like stepped up to the plate, knocking kids like over and doing all this. So it's definitely whoever well, how do I want to say it? Like whoever can step up, steps up. They play no matter what grade they're in.
Yeah, that's important. Does your team seem to? How do your coaches view academics, and how important is that for them?
Well, every time grade checks roll around, our coach tells us I'll take a knee. We're in a huddle. He starts going through every report card right there.
Wow.
Yeah. So anything bad, we're already on the goal line. So it's really important. Sports always come first. I mean, not sports. Grades always come first. So if you miss practice so you could do some homework because you're behind, they'll let you do that. Obviously you might have to run for it, but obviously they understand the importance of there's always what are you going to do after football? So it's really big.
As an athlete, you play, you can play some multiple positions. As an athlete, though, how have you seen your game evolve from when you first started until now?
Well, my first year playing football, I played for a youth team in Lakewood, the Lakewood Lumberjacks, and I was like a guard, a center, and I really didn't enjoy I didn't enjoy the fact that I was playing that position. So it really drove me to want to be like more of an athlete that has the ball in his hands, So when I started high school, I played running back on JV. I felt like this is what I want to do. This is where I see myself in the future. So I just really put all my coins in that piggy bank, and I just been working on footwork, lifting, squatting, do what you got to do, just get faster, So I definitely feel like I've evolved as more of an agile athlete, faster in a sense, just trying to prove to myself that I can take the workload.
And what have you noticed as far as your strengths? What strengths have you gained as you've gotten better as an athlete?
I definitely feel like I could. When I first started, I feel like I wasn't quick off the ball at all. I couldn't move as fast anymore. Like when I first started, I didn't even know what a 3-point stance was. So I feel like I've come a long way in that sense, and like how fast I could explode from a certain area of the field, and just how I carry the ball. It's evolved a lot, I'd say.
Yeah, and we look at strengths and weaknesses because if you can evaluate what you're not good at and get good at, that's huge. So what are some weaknesses that you're consistently working on, and what you've been working
on? For me, my biggest weakness, I believe, is just like getting into the open field. Just hitting that top end speed. So I've really been trying to work on the explosion once you get like into the open field to create the separation. I feel like that's a really big part if I want to go to the next level. So I've been really, really trying to work on that.
Any other sports you're playing besides football?
Yeah, I did basketball this last season, and I did track last year.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the football player, especially in a skill position that does track. That's kind of where you see the explosion, the separation that you were kind of hinting at and talking and discussing. How important is track, do you think, to that athlete?
I believe track actually it really trains the true sense of what an athlete is and all those athletic movements. So when you come back to like the football scene, it's more natural, So I definitely feel like track plays a pretty big role in just being an athlete.
So you're involved in 7-on-7.
Yes, sir.
The Olympia Outlaws 7-on-7 organization. Tell me what had you start with that organization, and walk me through that.
Well, I was on Twitter one day, and I saw this like the Olympia Outlaws organization Twitter page. You know, I DM'd them because I wanted to play some more football out of season. And, you know, they reviewed my film and they were like, you should definitely come try out. So I went out, you know, only small town kid there, and, you know, started making some noise. And before you know it, I got on the team.
Wow.
It's been a crazy experience.
How did that feel? Because, I mean, a student athlete has to prove themselves if it's in the classroom, could be the SATs, it's obviously on the field. I mean, you're tested nonstop. So what was that experience like?
For me, like you mean for the 7-on-7 part?
Yes.
It was crazy because, you know, definitely I was a little bit nervous about it, you know, because going from small school, going to like up to the city to compete against all these kids, I was a little nervous about it. But once I started like getting in my groove and just, you know, running all the routes and all that, I felt like I had a place here. So,
and it's true that the student athlete looks at this too. When the coaches on your 7-on-7 team that are coaching, how important is it a word of positivity and a word of encouragement from those coaches? Does that kind of puts more pep in your step, right? It gives you more confidence, don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you let like an out route, if you're the outside linebacker and somebody catches an out route in your flats, you know, of course you're going to hang your head over it sometimes. And it's great to hear that coach, you know, always behind you, like pushing you to do better. So it's, for me, encouragement like that's pretty huge.
A lot of some high school coaches do feel that 7-on-7, and here's their outlook. Some of them do. They feel that 7-on-7 kind of takes away from some of the skills or some of the things that your coaches at your high school have taught you. What is your thought, Jacob, on that thought? That do you think 7-on-7 is good because it does provide something in off season?
Yes, I personally, I'm a full on supporter of 7-on-7. It has progressed me as an athlete. It's taught me some things about like how I could run a certain route, you know. And the biggest thing for me is the competition. Like I remember like the first 7-on-7 like meet we went to, it was crazy, you know, like kids, like eighth graders on the sideline yelling your trash while you're playing like this one team. And, you know, it's like kids pressing you in your face. It's way different. I just love that. So I definitely feel like you have to definitely go there and watch the game to get the full effect, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, there's ups and downs, right? With plays
Mm-hmm.
and somebody scores on you, you score on them. So there's a lot of that. Have you felt that 7-on-7 has helped you improve your game?
Yes, for sure. Yes, for sure. Like I was going back to my route running, I feel like taught me footwork, how to make a route quicker, sharper in some areas. I've also learned certain coverages that I never would have thought of, and I could maybe bring back to my own high school coaches. So 7-on-7 is definitely huge to me.
Oh, that's great to hear. Now, talking about going back to high school, and again, what you guys have a schedule that's out already, I'm sure. Part of the WIAA, correct?
Yeah.
So, is there a tough team in your schedule that you kind of just maybe circle just a little bit? I mean, come on.
Every year it's been Kalama. Kalama's one. We've gotten second in our league like every year, and it's always been Kalama. And we have to play them. So it's definitely, I want that league championship, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. And so this is my final year to try and get it. So it's definitely them for sure. I have a huge chip on my shoulder for them.
I'm sure a lot of you could have brought, if I had your teammates right here, I'm sure they'd all say, we want some hardware.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want a state championship. We want that.
How important are your position coaches to you?
They're super important. Like my running back coach, he's also my high school advisor. He's my art teacher, my film teacher. So I definitely love having him around. Our O-line, D-line coach, man, he's funny. He's a great energy. Our head coach, I love that guy. He's always supporting us no matter what. And probably one of my favorites, our defensive coordinator.
Lay it on.
He supported me like ever since I was a freshman. I love that man. I'll take a bullet for him. And he's just a huge reason of why I still want to play, you know? So I'm definitely thankful for him as well.
You know, Jacob, we all have the ups and downs, right? We deal with a lot of different things, especially it's not easy being a student athlete because uh, you can feel good one moment and then down another. When you find yourself down and say that you're just kind of discouraged and maybe challenged, there's some adversity, how do you get through that? How do you mentally get through a time like that, Jacob?
So when I'm down like that, I always think about my mom. Like, what is my mom? What has my mom gone through to get me here, to get my brother here? You know, and if I give up, then what? You know. So I always remember, you know, I got people I got to make it for. You know, I got to do this. So definitely, like, my mom and my family play a huge role in when I'm down and have to get back up.
Well, I tell you, it's been a great time to get to know you, Jacob, Marley, and we're going to be looking for some great things from you this year. We pray and hope that there is a season. We're hoping for that. And there's obviously the governors that still have the stay-at-home orders in place. We're just hoping that there's a season, and I know you all are too. You're anxious to get going because here's the interesting part of it: is that the stay-at-home order could be lifted, and then boom, you hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just need to get over with. I need to get back out there.
And you want to see your classmates.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I tell you, what are some colleges that you kind of have your eye out on, that you kind of are interested in, and that you kind of have your eye on?
Well, I've been talking to this one NAIA school named Dickinson State. I feel like they're a pretty good program, and the coaches teach me a lot of stuff, and I love hearing it. Another NAIA, like Montana Western, they teach me some great things, and they got a good facility and all that. So definitely keeping my eyes out for those schools right there.
Oh, that's nice. You know, NAIA, Division I, FBS, FCS, I mean, it doesn't matter because really what it boils down to is that you're being able to extend, being able to play the game you love, and to participate, and then also still to be a student and see what kind of things are you interested in as far as an occupation or profession? If you had to say, I'm going to decide right now what I really want to do, what would that be?
Well, that's funny. I actually got a few, but probably the big one I'd want to go on to is being an athletic trainer. I just want to like stay around the sport, you know, learn more about the body in case like when I am playing, you know, how I can take care of myself better. So definitely probably a profession that I could like stay around the sport a little bit, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, give your mom love from outside the games, give your family love from outside the games. We appreciate you very much, Jacob Marley, for being on our show and our program. You know, we appreciate the student athlete because it is about community, it's about giving back. It's the person over the player because it's really both. Discuss that piece of it. We appreciate Toledo High School. Boy, when we get your schedule, we'll definitely want to take a look at you guys and see you guys play. And we wish you the best, and we pray that there is a season, and I know you all are wanting that as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll definitely send my mom the love, and I'll be looking out for you guys to come out.
Oh, hey, we appreciate it. So if you're just joining us, this has been Jacob Marley, class of 2021, athlete, GPA 3.6. Options are open for him for college. Definitely, he's taking care of the classroom. He's going to do that, but he's also doing well on the field as well, and he's going to do his best. We appreciate you, Jacob. We thank you for being on our show. This has been Kevin Menton, Jacob Marley. Thank you very much.